After intentionally wrecking Matt Mills during last weekend's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Homestead Miami Speedway, Connor Jones has received a one-race suspension. Now, during the Truck Series race at Homestead, Mills and Jones were racing for position when Jones got into the rear of Mills entering the corner, sending the number 42 truck up into the outside wall. Then, Mills' truck caught on fire and he got out under his own power. However, Mills was taken to the hospital and had to stay there for 2 nights due to smoke inhalation. Luckily, Mills has been cleared to compete this Friday night at Martinsville, while Jones will be watching from home. Now, initially, NASCAR responded to the on-track incident during the race by giving Jones a 2-lap penalty for rough driving. Many felt that wasn't severe enough, given he literally sent the driver to the hospital by wrecking him on purpose. After the incident occurred, Jones was heard on the radio saying that he had run-ins with Mills throughout the year and that he was tired of it, but he put out a statement later that day apologizing for his actions. We've seen NASCAR suspend drivers for rear right hooking another competitor, and now they've suspended Jones for intentionally wrecking someone at high speed 1.5-mile track. The photo courtesy there of Thor Sport Racing. Matt, did NASCAR make the right decision to suspend Connor Jones for one race?
Yeah, well, interesting incident, wasn't it? I mean, this has been kind of, as it seems like, brewing for a while between these two. And yeah, I think the penalty is just. It was extremely needless from Jones, and for his competitor in Matt Mills to have had to spend 2 nights in the hospital because of something that was, not his doing, it seems. And he was obviously in there with smoke inhalation and whatnot. Then the penalties just. Well, I think we'll talk more about penalties and their rankings later when we perhaps talk about Formula One. But yeah, this one, I think the standard penalty, standard NASCAR procedure was to have that 2-lap hold for Jones, but they've obviously taken a look at it over the last couple of days back at NASCAR HQ and have decided that he won't be taking the trip to Martinsville on Friday. But the good news is that Matt Mills is A-OK and will be racing on Friday. Ben says he was lucky he wasn't parked on the spot. Weak on-track move, weak statement, absolutely the right decision. I think everybody across the board, I think, is in agreement with Ben's sentiment there.
Yeah, with you on that one, because before this incident happened, Jones already had a negative reputation for questionable behavior, giving off the impression that he doesn't respect his competitors on the track or the work that goes into bringing these cars to the track each week. Last year, Jones was suspended for one race in the Cars Tour for violating his probation related to rough driving and actions detrimental to the series. He also threw water on Pinnacle Racing Group member after the ARCA race at the Milwaukee Mile. Now, long-time NASCAR veteran Kenny Wallace said he's tried having long discussions with Jones about rough driving, but it seems like that didn't break through. In his 21 Truck Series starts with Thor Sport Racing, Jones has yet to finish inside the top 10 and has an average finishing position of 23.7. Meanwhile, Luke Fanhouse as well has shared the same truck as Jones this year, with Fanhouse getting up 2 top 10s in his 3 starts. Thor Sport hasn't officially announced Jones's replacement yet for Martinsville, but the entry list has updated and it's showing that Joey Sauter's name is on the list. Now, given Jones's history of rubbing others the wrong way, Matt, do you think the 18-year-old has a chance to change his ways and learn that sometimes your actions can have serious consequences, such as retaliation leading to a driver hospitalized? God, it sounds like we're talking about Max Verstappen.
More on that story later. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I think this is, obviously there is something going on here with young Connor, because as you just documented, Josh, not the first time he's had a run-in with someone or something has happened in the pit lane or whatever, as you just talked about. So there's obviously something going on. Maybe, he's a little bit frustrated, of course, with as you just said again, with his performances, not registered a top 10, while other guys in that same team with the same crew in the same truck have been performing better in less starts. if we think about the grid ranking, Luke Fenhouse would have a much better average score than Connor Jones, but that's something for another day. But yeah, there's obviously something going on here that needs looking at during the off season. Force Sport are one of the premier teams in the truck series. They need to be having their guys in the top 10 regularly and competing for race wins. So it's a little bit of a shame that hasn't happened for Jones in some respects, but it's obviously something going on perhaps that needs to be addressed by the team, his close sort of support bubble, and that kind of thing going forward. But the moral of the story is that this isn't what racing's about, and it's not helped by the fact that the series likes to promote some of their stuff by having fights and other egregious happenings going on in their promotional material. Good evening, Adam. He says Connor Jones needs a wake-up call. Maybe this will be it regarding the one race suspension. Maybe it will. Maybe he'll come back at Phoenix and have a great run for the championship finale race in a couple of weeks' time. We'll see.
Hope so. End 2024 on a high and not a low, and prove that you've upgraded yourself as a driver and even as a human being.